Good morning out to you there. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
I'm always excited to be here in between the two. I always feel very comfortable.
Safe space.
Yes, I feel it's a safe space for me, and I always love to answer the tough questions that come from the two. So I am very prepared for this today. Yeah, my name is Mercy Maneno. I work with a mentoring and empowerment program for young women in SOT, MEMPROW, and I sit in the Arua office. It's our field office based in Arua. But MEMPROW itself is an organization, a national NGO that started way back in 2018. 2008, actually, not 2018. I wanted to reduce our years, but it is from 2008. We have moved through the hurdles, through the struggles, empowering women and girls, and giving them a choice, a voice. And of course, you know, that is what many people do not give, you know, power, but it's a positive power, not like overtaking power from men and so forth. So our head office is found in Kampala, that is in Muyenga, but we have also other field offices in Pakwach, Nebi, and in Zombo. So right now, I must say that we have not changed our agenda. We still continue to empower young girls and women. And of course, leadership is one thing that we also empower them with. As I mentioned, we do this hand in hand with different stakeholders. You know, MEMPROW does not work in isolation. It has a number of partners that support our work. So in that, you find that we have been supported by Care International. We have been supported by SIHA Network. I know if I mention the number, the list is long. And then the African Women, of course, Forum, it's also another that has also supported us. So for now, I'll be willing to say anything or to respond to any question that may come.
Mercy, I'm quite excited.
Yes.
Now, you see, when someone talks about MEMPROW, usually what comes first is women, leadership, leading, and stuff. And what is that picture like? I know someone might wonder, what women leadership, what are you talking about? Are you grooming MPs, school prefects? You know, what is the picture we're talking about? I know your T-shirt is saying sustaining women's leadership.
Thank you so much. You see, that is one of the thematic areas that MEMPROW actually derives its strength from, empowering leaders. Or like, you know, being a leader is not something that you're supposed to get from somewhere. You are mentored, and it's what you have to grab if you realize your potential in it. So like, if you believe that you can be a leader, you need to really go for it and seek for support. So our leadership trainings have been in schools, have been in the different communities that we work with. Like primary and secondary schools, we have been mentoring these young children into leadership. That's why we have the MEMPROW Girls Network that are also trained in leadership. And these ladies, right now as I talk, most of them have taken different leadership positions in their different communities. Even some of them have vibed for councillorship, like we have one in Logiri sub-county who was a MEMPROW girl and trained in climate justice activities. And you realize that they have now the confidence. And trust me, these are girls that right now, if you seek to understand what they understand about leadership, they'll be able to tell you that my leadership abilities or capabilities were mentored by MEMPROW because we are a mentoring institution. So we start the journey with you and never leave you. So you realize that in our training, we give people an open mind. We don't really, as in, fix them into specific leadership roles or abilities. We give them broader understanding of leadership that they can take within their community. Even by the way, at home, even we're leaders as well. So as a mother, how do you play your leadership role at home? You know, leadership, if it has not worked out in a family, it will not work out in the community or outside.
Yeah.
So the truth is that most times you realize that these girls, they come when they're naive, they come when they are fearful, they do not have the confidence, and the issues of stereotype that a woman cannot lead a community, or cannot lead a district, or whatever platform that she finds herself in. You know, many of them come into our programs with that fear, with that naiveness. But trust me, any person who has attended MEMPROW's mentorship or leadership training will never remain the same. And they will always build a confidence and be able to thrive. Even if the decision-making platforms that they find themselves in, they'll be able to shine from time to time.
Yeah.
Yes.
As we make the discussion very clear here, viewer, just know that your opinions are very key to this, the very discussion. You can always make sure that you drop your comments. I know many of you are watching us on the various platforms, those on your TV, those who are watching us on Afro Mobile, and also those who are watching us on Host Media app. And if you're also watching us on the various social media platforms where we're streaming this live from, don't forget to drop your comments or questions right over there. Mazi, we have always known MEMPROW for being a very innovative in our project approaches, and of course we're looking at your new booklet that now focuses on amplifying survivor narratives and local evidences on violence against women and girls right in there. Basically looking at project stories, sharing the local. Where was this inspiration driven from, or what is the big thing about this booklet and then this project that is already changing the narratives? Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that question. Yeah. Rightly, the way you have said it, where we're driving this from, as I mentioned earlier, when you look at our different communities, both the formal and informal setting, you realize that those in the formal setting are easily able to get information, and are easily to explore, and easily to fall into leadership positions that they want. But now what about these other women? The informal sector, and also looking at our women market vendors, looking at the girls in the rural community who may want to also find opportunities to get into some positions within our communities or within the different local government setups. One thing is that you know, the issues of gender-based violence has been a key issue, because most times you realize that in the communities, as a woman, if you vie for a position, you'll want to be sexually exploited before you're given even that position. Like many women have gotten out of those positions just because they are people, only they are superiors. Let me say openly, the men, some of the men who may want also to exploit them before they are given, even at the job positions these days, before you're given a top priority job position, someone will want to exploit you first, will want to do that sexual. And sexual violence, or let me say, violence itself is not about the sexual violence alone. We're looking at the psychological one, we're looking at emotional, we're looking at economical. Because one, a woman without money can never be able to find herself in the level she would want to be. Because first of all, at home, the man will look at every little penny that this woman gets as his money, and even will say that, you got this money in my home. So many times you find when this woman wants to find her level to grow, her career to grow, because one, without career, you cannot also vie for those well-to-do positions where your voice will be heard. And even decision making itself, this woman will not make a decision, even about her body. You see, a man will say, I paid bride price, so your body is mine, and any time I want it, you're not supposed to say no. You're not supposed to deny me. And you realize that when she does that, of course, what will happen? She may be deprived of her abilities and even what she's supposed to get as a woman. You will not be given a good job. You will not be given even resources. And yet women are the most good planners I've ever known. By the way, if you want to grow faster, allow a woman to come into the business of your growth or your what? Of your home. Because her plans will never go into ruin. So many times you find that the different challenges, patriarchy first of all, is something that we're looking at. The patriarchy of where many people believe that power is only for the men. The men are the most superior people. The power over. He wants to control everything. You control my mind, you control my resources, you control everything around me. Even I should not have a voice. I should not really have a choice. So anything I say is silenced. You get it? So that is where we thought it wise that why can't we give these women a platform? Give women a platform to voice out their issues. You know, when women stand together, they can advocate for their rights. And you know, one woman cannot make it. But when you realize that when an opportunity is given to one and she will be able to pull others, it will be a great one. The spirit of sisterhood will remain strong, whereby when one issue affects one woman, all of us rise. Like right now, this could be the best time that women would rise up to say, this time we want our woman here to take this position. Like the spirit of sisterhood will drive us to the level that we would not even fear anything that comes, you know, even if we do not have the resources. And the resources I'm talking about, you realize that, one, women are denied education.
True.
So now when you're denied education, what happens? You'll not have now the knowledge. And of course you remain primitive and ignorant. But if you're given a platform like me now, not for bad, who will say something about me? Not for bad, like many people
will think it's AI.
Exactly. So like, at the end of the day, someone will say, why should a woman actually lead us? Like, why should, like, putting on a trouser for some people up to now, still they feel like this woman is standing to be like a man.
Maybe just as we make this discussion here, I think Desire has a question for you, but from our online viewer, Stella Peace is saying wow, and for those who are also appreciating this, it is good to say wow also, but let's put this into action. And those who are watching us online, you can drop your comments right over there if you have a question or comment, or in addition that you'd want to give also a survivor narrative in terms of how this is happening in your area. That is very perfect. And remember, this is a host TV, and at the Morning Explorer, we're having this discussion to make sure that we have barriers to be stopped, and MEMPROW has been doing this greatly. Yes.
Now, Mercy,
yes, please.
I've happened to take a look into this book, and the first question that would come to mind is, why this particular tool? If you look at the pictures alone, if you look at the story, you talked about sisterhood, handing the torch, I'm seeing all those things there, and now the question comes in this process, why have we chosen to bring out these stories, this survivor narrative, and how did you ensure safety in this whole process and the ethics in it? You know, we're talking about a safe space for women, and MEMPROW has been leading in that. So tell us, why this particular tool? We know you've come up with so many unique tools as MEMPROW. So what is the story behind this? Why are we telling these stories?
You see, the fact that we work directly with the communities, we're already aware of the issues that are happening in the communities. You know, you can't come up with a tool or a narrative like what we have now when you do not get into the community and understand. And the more space we give to listen to the issues that women go through, the more information you collect. So you realize that we have been with these women for a while now. More like, especially those who would want to vie for political positions, and even the technical positions that people believe are only for the gentlemen, that women are not supposed to take these. You realize that why we chose this, you see, as I said, you know, one empowered woman can pull out another. You've seen in the pictures that we have shared in this booklet, where another woman is picking the other and pulling her up onto the ladder, and the one who is like down is being pulled. You know, if only we could continue doing this and be able to advocate against the harmful practices on women and the issues that are affecting women, you realize that women will thrive. And the issues of stereotype I talked about, the cultural beliefs that women are not supposed to take other positions in our communities. And when you look at still even the cultural institutions, even the different political spheres, you find that women are being given maybe vice She's not given an opportunity to take a full seat like the full. If she's supposed to come in, she's supposed to come as a vice chairperson, or like you get it, right?
Yeah.
So like we're looking at one. How can we bring these rural women into also a level? Yes, it's okay that those who are in the formal sector are doing a great job, but we are saying it should not really stop there. We should get back into the communities, because there are still more women who need this support and who need to be heard. And when we do it collectively and we do it together, that is when we can move the mountain.
Mercy, there's something that interests me about this very book here that MEMPROW has produced. I just want to read an article from one of the stories towards the end. Yeah. It talks about leadership, and we're in political season as per now.
Yes.
The future we deserve is an article that is on page 9 over this book.
Yes.
It says, we dream of a Uganda where no girl is told she cannot lead, where no woman is silenced by fear, where movement rises stronger than barriers.
Yes.
We dream of communities where mentorship, network, and solidarity make leadership accessible to all. Yeah. This is not just a dream. It is a duty. Rise, speak, act, and the future is waiting. Let's look at this article, and at the time when we are getting into political seasons, we have seen what are those barriers, what are those survivor narratives that can be orchestrated through these writings or these articles that the stories that this book is telling us, and how can we shape women leadership as the election is the center stage now?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. You've read it rightly. If women can be allowed to thrive, to voice out, are not silenced, I think we will do great in this current going on elections that are coming up. But I realize that almost everywhere, women have been silenced. True. That's why those who have vibed to take like the different leadership positions, some of them have been actually voted out, even by their own fellow women as well, even some of the men. And some positions that are supposed to be for both, the men have said this is not for women. And many of them have been threatened. Many of them have been threatened with words, and even others with physical violence itself. That's why many times you realize that when these women are going out in the community, they need protection. Yeah. But the fact that the pull her down syndrome still also exists amongst the women, because attitude towards another woman matters a lot. Yeah. Like if you don't, like for example, if Desire is saying she's coming up for a position, I should be able to support her, and I will be like her protection. I will be like also an advocate to advocate for her to take that position. Meaning that if she's not there, I'm supposed to voice out on her behalf. I'm supposed to rise up even beyond what she does, because I have already seen the capability in her, and I have seen that she can be able to change the community or to change the narrative of issues of women, that women are not supposed to lead. It is not supposed to be a choice. Yeah. You get it? The way you read it very clearly. So at this particular time, I would really request that we should really take it serious that women are also capable of leading us. And they have all what it takes to lead. So they should be given the platform. Give a woman a platform and listen to what she says. And give her the platform and give her the opportunity and see what can never be changed. Trust me, the change will always occur.
Yeah. Wow, wonderful. Mercy, yes, the book does not only talk about the incredible success stories, but it highlights the barriers that women have had to overcome in leadership, right from home to the classroom to parliament and all that. And now the question is that you have gathered all these local narratives of the survivors, and also local evidence, of course, in this story here. How are you as an organization going to translate this into local action, into something that is actionable? We can say, okay, we have this evidence, we have this barrier. How are we translating that into maybe a local action that we can do?
Okay. We may not do a lot, but also we can do a lot. And that is why we are all here. It's already what we are doing.
You say that again. People may think it's AI. Say it again.
I can, so that I can also learn. So we cannot do it, but that's why we're here.
I say we cannot do a lot, but we can still do a lot. And we have started doing it. And even that's why we are here. You get it? That is what I wanted to say. Because the truth is that we can't do it alone.
True.
Yes, we might have come up with what you've just seen, but it's not only for us. That's why we brought it to the TV. That's why we would want to put it like in our different social media platforms so that people read and understand that it is our collective action. You know, advocacy is not for one. Advocacy is for all. So if we believe that what we have written is true and needs to be changed, and if we all can agree to what we have written, I believe that we will stand in solidarity with MEMPROW, or like you who is listening to me, you who is watching at me, you can also be interested to make sure that you also adopt this and pick this up. Because yes, we may be able to write it very nicely, but we may not actualize it 100% due to maybe the financial constraints. You know, the tricky space and the issues of limitations of finances may not allow us to cascade. That's why we thought this would also be the first platform for us to cascade this same information to people to hear it. So what best we can do is only to ensure that we continue with our intergenerational dialogues. You know, the intergenerational dialogues is where we can bring out issues like this. We can understand the different generations and how things are. You know, leadership by then was not handled the way it is now. Maybe you understand the narrative if it is brought from maybe the generation X, you know, they call it the Gen Z.
Gen Z,
like, of course,
all those generations.
Exactly. So when we bring this up, it should not be like in pride. It should be to understand that we can work together. No. Some of you, the generation, whatever the Gen Z say, for us we are AI. We are controlled by AI. For us, we know how to reason things much better. But trust me, this document, if we look critically into it and understand it, and be able to narrow it down to the rural woman or the informal woman, and they should understand that they have a role to play. They still have, because the truth is, you know, as an organization, we may come up with different interventions to support the women, but at the end of the day, we can only change their mindset, but we may not be able to support them to the dot. It is the community. Yes, we can just give them a platform, we can give them the space, and also get their interest. And maybe after getting their interest, we will support them according to their interests. If they need mentorship, we can link them to mentorship sessions or people who can mentor them from time to time. And if it means backup, we could even back them up. Like if someone wants a manifesto, we could also know how to do connection. And of course, that is now, of course, the networking issues that we're talking about. And we can also stand in solidarity to advocate for it, like this person becomes part of our work. Like we put all these people into our platform to see that we stand and enable this person to thrive.